Alright, hello. It is 8 o'clock, which means we are now live. Hello to the peeps in my channel that are talking to me right now. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll have a good time. Thank you already for the sub to Void Mage Orca. Very nice, very nice. As promised, I have done nothing. You'll remember I had nothing apart from a box full of junk and a duck. So today we're going to try and get a little bit more sorted, so probably chests and various, probably a better source of food, and see where we get to. So let's give it a go, right? Oh, Friday! How about that? How about that? Do any of you have weekend plans, or are you chill at the moment? Tell me what your plans are. Give them a moment to respond. Will I replant my crops? I don't think I have many plans. I'm going to be nipping over to my friend's on Sunday. She's got an amazing little doggo now. Well, not so little. But she's got an amazing doggo, so we're going to go walk the doggo, probably. That's the plan. Oh, we've had a suggestion to start fishing. I could do that. I'll tell you what, the mod pack comes with a fishing variety, so you have a... oh gosh, I have to remember what it's called now. Strainer base. So you can make one of these, which means you can pop a net over it and it'll do fishing for you, so... See how we do, but that does mean we need to make one of those first, and we haven't got to that point yet. But fishing can be a great source of food. Right. Anybody remember which direction the sheep were in? I don't. So we're just going to go in a particular direction and see where we get to. Hopefully find some sheep. Fingers crossed. So I really could do with making a bed, and I don't have 10 silver. I still think that's a lot of money for a bed. But never mind. I'm not complaining. Not this early into the stream. I'm not complaining. Well, I see some birds. Oh, is that a pumpkin? I think I see a pumpkin, chaps. Here we go. Hoarder. Hashtag hoarder. Got myself a pumpkin. Well, it is now the weekend. Doo-doo-doo. That feels like that's a celebration for that one. Have you got any plans? I don't know if we have any plans. For the most part, it looks like they don't have plans. Yeah, weekend. Woohoo! The plan is weekend. That, to be fair, I can agree with. I've already been quite lucky enough. My workplace recently had its 10-year anniversary and gave me the day off. So woohoo! Oh, massive! That'll be good. You've got One Ring on Sunday because we're all about the nerdery and the games and the fun. So I hope you have a good time with your One Ring, which is for those that don't know, that aren't in the know, One Ring is a roleplay game that is shaped over Lord of the Rings. So it tends to be a very good one if you want to play a hobbit. Is it set before or after the actual films? I can't remember. Ah, sheep. Come here, you little... Nah. Oh, and of course right about now I slow down because food. Because hunger. Between Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. There you go. Thank you. A good one if you want to play a Hobbit. Got the sheep. I got the sheep. I have 3 bits of wool. We can make a bed. Ha! And we have some more wood as well. So let's go back to the base real quick and make ourselves a bed. And then we can start skipping the night because boring. This will be even, as I promised last time, try and build some variety of a machine. Oh, trees. Yeah, try and build some variety of machine, hopefully. Maybe. I was thinking the first one, probably the easiest one in terms of getting going, is the kelp farm, strangely enough, because it doesn't involve more than one thing and it can be powered by a windmill. But don't panic if you have no idea what I'm going on about. I will take you through it every step of the way. If you recall, we went through the first 4 steps to getting into the actual tree, the skill tree. So we have the automated forest where you have wood generated with a saw and various other things. We also have a way to generate the andesite that you need to make the machines. You also have a way to create sand. This one is really quite handy because you need a lot of that later for the clay, as you can see, and the underwater garden, which is probably the one we're going to try and give a go today with. Why do I pick that one first? It can be operated very easily, created very easily with a like a windmill. So because it doesn't need to go around fast, as it grows, it will help chop it off or cut it off. So I think maybe we're going to aim for that one first. Possibly this one maybe at the same time because they're both kind of linked. But we'll see. So we need to make this. And in order to make this, we need 2 andesite cobble and 2 algae bricks. How do you make the algae bricks? Good question. You make the algae bricks with a bit of crafting, a bit of mixing jiggery pokery. As that. So you can see you've got all sorts of different ways of making this block. So this one is made with this. You cook this and it turns into that. Following? I hope you're following. You make this with some of this. You can see now why we need a lot of clay and a lot of either kelp or seagrass. Kelp generally is easier to farm, so we're going to probably go for kelp than we are seagrass, but we shall see. So we're going to go and find ourselves some clay now. algite box. So what we're going to do, so if you press U, as I said, you can use kelp for all sorts of things. You can cook it up, you can turn it into different kind of blocks or whatever, but this here is what we want. The algae blend, so clay balls and kelp. If you push the little plus button, it pops it straight into your crafting board. Push that again, and you get your algae blend. And we're just going to pop it into the furnace. While that is cooking, I'm going to go and empty my bag full of all of the other junk that we just picked up, including the other bits of kelp and the jellyfish. And since it's now nighttime outside, we're also going to go sleep. Kerja. Perfect. So much easier with the bed. So much easier. There we are. Simple. Right. Gonna go hop back up here. We popped our andesite in there for safekeeping. And as you can see now, we've got some algae bricks. So we've got that. And we've got these guys here. And we're just going to, again, click the plus button, which gives you the andesite alloy. Very easy. Oh, it looks like Orca's in a D&D. What version D&D are you in? An October Halloween event, even. So that'll be good fun. All of my friends play various roleplay games and so on and so forth, so it's really not a strange thing. Right, so we have our first stepping point, but obviously every time I make the andesite alloy, I don't want to have to go through that. So I don't want to go swim out into the ocean and get the kelp. I don't want to have to go dig for the clay. There are ways to automate all of this, but for now, you kind of have to start back at basics. So if we go and press U on that, you can see it makes a whole bunch of things. The thing that we want to make ideally is going to be this. This is the basis to starting most of these. So it's the kinetic mechanism. It's the end point of chapter 1. So once we get to the end point of chapter 1, we'll be able to automate the making of these entirely. That's the idea anyway. Whether it happens or not is another thing. So, as said, we're going to start things nice and easy. We're going to go for a windmill. So to do a windmill, you need a windmill bearing, and you also need some sails. Very easy stuff to make very early on. So you've got this here. Now, Create comes with this fantastic thing where you get to ponder as if you were an engineer. I'm not an engineer, but you could ponder. So hold down W and it gives you a nice little video that tells you what these things do. And you can do that. Ta-da! So it rotates very, very slowly. It's very good for picking up things like crops and things, because eventually you can add on shafts and things, chassis to attach things like mechanical, what's the word I'm looking for? Mechanical harvesters, so you can use that kind of thing. There's a billion different things you can do with it, but this one's the very easy one. We'll go to the next scene just so you can see the next scene. So then you've got that. Although that's a bit uglier than the other one, but that's technically what we're making right now. Technically speaking, because we will be attaching this thing here to it so it can collect the kelp. So yeah, that's where we're aiming for. This is the early game, very easy way to generate some power. It looks like Orca is running the 5E. You're running a dragonborn fighter named Drax. Good name. I approve. So we've got that. All we need to make that is this, guys. So easy peasy. The shaft is just 2 of these, and you get 8. So it's not too expensive. We're going to need a lot of those anyway going forwards. So I'm not worried about overmaking one of these guys, which is one of those shafts and a slab. So easy peasy. I don't think we've got any slabs yet, so we'll just take our planks, turn them into slabs, and then we'll pop that there, and get ourselves a turntable. So it's just shaft and an oak slab. Most of these are recipes that require the shape, so sometimes it's easier just to go from the JEI over here and click it in. But an awful lot of the time it is just easier to do it like that. So easy peasy. Very good. Right, so we've got that. We now need to have a stone, which I've left down here in this box. This is the only trouble with putting stuff in other directions, is you end up putting everything from different boxes. And then we'll go... Oh, we can't use that stone. Typical. I think that's because that's a decorative stone. I should pop it in a different box so we know that that is a different stone. And then I think we're going to have to cook up some of those to make them into actual stones and not cobblestone. Now we've still got ourselves some algae brick cooking up here, so I think what we'll do is we'll make another little furnace. Can't go wrong with more furnaces, and that is andesite. We don't want to use that. We want to use this. We want to use the regular cobblestone, not the andesite, because the less you have, the more you're going to have to go dig. So we'll pop some of these in here and get that cooking up as well. Simples. We may need to go find some more the sheep again. At some point we'll make a leash and we'll bring them back here so we can have them as part of the farm. The main component that is used for sheep for wool is to build the sails, for the windmill. So you do need to have an easier access to that. Oh, cooked the wrong thing, didn't I? Oops. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Can I use it as a... Oh, I can use it as that though, so we've not failed completely. So, you've got that, that's your recipe. The turntable that we made earlier, the stone and the shaft makes the windmill bearing. So we've now got our windmill bearing. So the other thing we're going to need really at this point is the sails, as mentioned earlier. A little bit more expensive. You can find these in the world to take down, create somewhere else, which is kind of easier, but not too expensive. So we're going to make some sticks. Need to find my bamboo. I'm a bamboo addict. I love my scaffolding. And what we do is we do that and do that. So the sail recipe is just a bunch of sticks, 1 bit of wool and 2 iron nuggets. For any windmill to work, it needs a minimum of 8 sails. So we will need to go find some more sheep and shear them. Not a problem, now I remember where they are. Plantation. So kelp needs to grow underneath water. Doesn't really need a scientist to explain that one, but kelp needs to... Oh, look, there he is. Oh, cheeky. Let's get him. Oh, no! Vicious beastie. Absolutely vicious. Do you see that, bully? Oh, and there's another rubber ducky. I'm trying to build, sir. Could you not? Honestly. Okay, so you know what I was saying earlier about putting the torch in here? I'd like to see you spawn now. I'd like to see you spawn now. Up. There you go. No. Yeah. Sometimes you have to make the no. It's a requirement, right? It's a requirement. Don't judge me. So, as you well know already, kelp needs to grow in water. So we're just going to build it out here. Seems like a decent enough spot, so I would think let's go a little bit further out, because we'll be able to cross this distance with a conveyor belt anyway. So if we go kind of closer to the middle of the pond. There we are. That'll do. Kind of middly. Kind of not too far away from everything. Look at, he broke one of my onions. Oh. Vicious. Vicious. Never mind. Right. Ta-da! Or at least, well, sort of star. So pop it down. Depending on what way you place it down, well, depending on what way the sticky bit is facing. But generally, I like to build my windmills with the sticky bit facing upwards. Call me a traditionalist, I don't mind. We're going to pop one of those on top. So without this being stuck to this, the whole thing won't move. So you need to have a block above it. It doesn't have to be a plank. It can just be another block or some wool, whatever you ever so fancy. But I generally just use planks because they're quite easy to come by. And all we're going to do now that we've got the windmill bearing and the oak planks stuck to the windmill bearing, I'm just going to pop some sails onto it, and you'll see what happens. So I've popped one sail on. Now, if I look at it, it has the option to add a sail in a particular direction. So we'll just go like that, and it stretches it further out. You do need 8 sails per windmill. So if you're trying to figure out why your windmill is not going, it's probably because you don't have enough sails. Probably. You don't need to worry too much. The good news really is you don't need to worry too much about doing it next to a wall, because for the most part these sails go through things when they're moving. So you don't need to worry on that side. You, however, can't walk through them. That's why I've had to now build a path around the other side. Planning. Yeah, I know. Machines. How exciting is this too? Woo! I mean, to be fair, it's a windmill. What do you mean, finally? This is only the 2nd episode. Okay. So we now have our 8 windmill sails attached. As I said, you need 8. I've got 2 on each, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Very simple, very easy, very early game machinery. All you need to do to get it going is to click on it, is to right click. So it says right click the bearing with an empty hand to attach the structure you have just built in front of it. What it means is that green sticky bit that was on top here, you need to click on it to get it to stick. And as soon as I click on it, it starts turning. This is now generating power. It's not really going anywhere because I haven't got anything attached to it. So for this particular thing, what will happen is I will be creating it downwards so that as this spins, there is an arm that spins underneath it, collecting a wonderful, beautiful kelp. If you didn't understand a word I just said then, that's fine. We're going to do it together on the screen, and I'll do it slowly so you can kind of follow. But, yes, we now have our first kinetic machine. Simples, as they say. Looks cool. This is one of the things I do love about Create, and the fact that the blocks, the items in particular, still are blocky. To me, it feels like Minecraft extra. It doesn't feel like a different mod pack entirely or a different game entirely. It still feels very Minecraft, and that's one of the things that I really liked about Create, just as a personal experience, a personal preference. Like some of the things, I really love Railcraft, and how crazy it is and how violent and how dangerous it is. But some of the mobs in Railcraft, I would argue, don't look very Minecraft. They're not blocky, they're not they just don't feel very Minecraft. They feel a lot more textured. Some of them are round, some of them are stretched out. So it kind of it doesn't detract from the game for me, but the fact that this does look like something that belongs in Minecraft adds something in my eyes to me. So yes, now all we need to do, she said, it's going to take a while, is build the contraption that goes underneath it to chop up the kelp as it goes round. All we have to do, she says. So I guess we didn't quite get the kelp harvest thing completed this time, but we did have a lovely journey, a lovely adventure. Do you see the fireflies there? Ignoring the zombie that's coming to gnaw off my face right there. Check out the fireflies. Anyway, sorry, that was me interrupting my own finale, my own ending. So, we didn't quite get the kelp machinery finished this time, but it's not a race, and we had a lovely adventure. We had a good time. We found a treasure map. We found a pirate ship. I didn't die. We had a lovely time. So thank you all very much for joining me. I do appreciate the love and support that you all have shown me over the last 2 episodes. Very much appreciated. It's a bit nerve-wracking starting out doing this kind of thing, but it's been made a lot easier by a lot of fantastic friends. So I hope you enjoyed this. You got to see your first moving item. We will, I promise, finish it off very soon. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a very wonderful weekend. And as a mark of respect as well, we will express our dearest condolences to the royal family with the news that Her Majesty the Queen died over the week. So, Britain mourns with you. Good night, everybody, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.